The rookie gets the start for the fourth straight game for an injured Larry Johnson. Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley complete the starting five. And for the Houston Rockets, Clyde Drexler and rookie Matt Maloney in the backcourt. Mario Ellie, Hakeem Olajuwon, and up front. And we have been joined again tonight by Craig Sager. Let's check in with Craig right now.
Well, the last time Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley got together, tempers were rising and fists were flying. And Sir Charles says he has a score to settle.
I remember what happened. He cheap shot at me. I do. I tried to punch him in the head. Must be night. I'm going to try to punch him in the head, too.
Even though you got suspended?
I don't care about that. You don't let people slam you down.
So you're carrying a grudge into this game?
I always carry a grudge if somebody do something to me wrong. I don't ever forgive and forget. I'm from that old school, an eye for an eye. I hope nothing happens, but if something does happen, I'm going to defend myself.
As for Oakley, he says it's not the first time they hit Barkley, and it won't be the last. Expletives aside, I'm not afraid of Barkley or anybody in this league. Vern, Doc.
All right, sounds like a biblical battle coming up here.
Yes, it does. It sounds like a good one between two big men. I like watching games like that.
Clyde Drexler and his teammates have lost their last two games at home. They lost here to Portland and the Clippers, then went on the road for 4 games in 5 nights. They won the first 3, but then lost Sunday night to the Chicago Bulls. And the New York Knicks come in having won 17 of their last 20. Hugh Hollins, Paul Mihalik, and Hank Armstrong are the officiating crew, and we'll jump it again.
Yeah, it's interesting watching Oakley and Barkley when they walked out on the floor. Oakley made a point not to look at him, not to shake his hand. That's the message early.
Anybody want to try it a third time? It is called jump ball after all. And Olajuwon steals it and gets it on the way up.
That was just as bad.
Barkley for 3. Nice way to open the game.
Yes, and I think that's the message also.
Charles, who was limited to only 7 points in his confrontation with Dennis Rodman on Sunday night, and he's not been shooting well the last 4 games. Here's Ewing, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
And that's the guy you want to get off early. They don't double-team Hakeem a lot, and every time Patrick can score, that's great for his confidence against Hakeem Olajuwon.
Maloney brings it up. A little bit of pressure supplied by Chris Childs, who's back in the lineup for the second night. Now he missed 3 games with back spasms. Here's Barkley. Passes on the 3 as Oakley comes out to confront him. Thrown away. First turnover of the night.
It's Knicks ball.
Chris Childs. Here's John Wallace. 19 points in the win over Boston at the Garden on Sunday night. That's his season high. And that's a career high. Olajuwon takes it away from Ewing.
And that's what Jeff Van Gundy was worried about early, are the Knicks turnovers and being scored off a turnover.
Oakley and Barkley. That's the 3 again. Too strong. Allan Houston gets the rebound. Knicks will bring it up quickly. Here's Oakley with the jumper at the other end. It's a 4-3 New York game. Maloney picked up by Childs. Matt Maloney now entrenched at that guard position, having a terrific rookie season after 5 years in the CBA, taken away by Chris Childs. Speaking of a long time in the CBA, Childs 6 teams in 5 years in that league.
Yeah, he's a survivor. There's a bunch of survivors in the CBA now. I think that makes them better NBA players because they understand what it takes, and they like it when they get here.
Maloney for 3 off the feed from Drexler.
Maloney has played so well. People forget the Rockets brought Brent Price in to do that, and Brent Price can't get his job back because Maloney's played so well.
Brent Price is back on the active roster now. He missed the first 2 months of the season. Here's Ellie with the steal. This will be a layup.
Vern, this is exactly what Van Gundy did not want. He said before the game that the Knicks are prone by turnovers, and because they have 3 big guys, they don't get back in time, and teams are scoring off those turnovers, and they can't have that if they want to win tonight.
Here's Childs at the other end. That's for 3 for Chris Childs. Well, to emphasize that point, early in the season, New York was averaging 22 turnovers per game. They got it down to 19, but it's still high in the league. The irony in that is that Houston doesn't force a lot of turnovers, so interesting stat to keep tonight. Olajuwon. Then 7 Houston back on top.
There's certain games that you can feel different intensity, and already, right, you can see it, you can feel it in this arena right now.
Mario Ellie gets called for this foul. They elected to steal.
Yeah, and this is just a turnover caused by carelessness and misreading, and that is one of the things, when you bring in 7 new players, you're going to have that. The problem is you're giving up easy buckets. The Knicks can't afford to give up easy buckets to the Rockets tonight.
Saw the turnover story at 2 and 2. John Wallace says the 3rd turnover early in the game. Ellie back to Drexler. Can't hang on. That'll be New York's ball to throw inbounds. But this is exactly what Van Gundy did not want to see.
No, he does not want to see this. And at least the last turnover, you saw everyone get back. They called the turnover and got the ball back. The Knicks do cause a lot of turnovers. The problem is they give it right back.
Childs finds Ewing. No, tipped away by Drexler. Then Oakley gets it back. Wallace on the block, and he travels. 4 turnovers.
And if you're a Knicks fan, you should expect this. You should expect turnovers like this from this team, because for this team, though they're veterans on this team, it's still a young team when it comes to big games. These guys aren't used to each other in big games.
Maloney finds Barkley. No double team coming on Barkley. He backs Oakley in. My goodness. Gets the bounce and has the free throw. Oh, he took Oakley strong to the basket.
Yeah, he really did. It looked like 2 Rams running into each other right there. Oakley tries to lose contact to make Charles Barkley lose balance. Barkley keeps his balance and instead draws a 3-point play.
Now, this is a good start for Barkley, who really was upset at the way the plays were called in the game against Chicago. He complained a little bit about the fact they went to Olajuwon on the same play every time down in the second half.
Well, he better get used to it.
No kidding.
Because they're going to do it again tonight. They brought Charles in to score, obviously, more, though, to rebound. And if you look at his numbers, he has helped this team in rebounding.
2 of 11 in that loss to Chicago, along with only 7 rebounds. And it's a 13-7 game now. A 10-3 Houston run. Goaltending on Olajuwon. So the basket goes to John Wallace.
Yeah. And if they're going to play Clyde Drexler on John Wallace, that ball is going down to John Wallace all day. They're not respecting John Wallace's offensive game, and he has a lot of offense.
Allan Houston picks up Drexler. Little pick and roll with Olajuwon over Ewing. Got another one. 15-9. Houston leads. Nearly midway through the first quarter. Allan Houston trying to be aggressive and has to kick it outside. Wallace misses. Here comes Barkley. Knicks back in transition underneath to Olajuwon. Too strong. Gets his own follow, puts it up, knocked out of bounds. It'll be New York ball, and last touch by Barkley.
I'll tell you what, Patrick Ewing might have gotten away with a goaltending right there. He hit the backboard so hard that might have shaken the ball off the rim.
Chris Childs picked up by Matt Maloney. Oakley with the screen. Childs in and out. Allan Houston puts it quickly back up in Kansas.
Well, they have to be happy to see that. They want Allan Houston to score more. He says he's not a catch-and-shoot player. He likes ISO.
Well, and he says he's trying to fit in. I think the consensus is they don't want him to fit in anymore. Take charge.
Yeah,
Be
they
aggressive.
do. And that's a tough position for him to do.
Well, we've reached our first timeout. 6:48 to go in the opening quarter, and the Rockets lead by 4.
Kid, you got the talent, but you got a problem.
You're too nice. I'm gonna make you bad.
Okay, Mr. Lambert.
Good, very good.
Friday night, NBA on TNT. Vancouver is a big country kind of place. The kind of country Karl Malone likes to drive through. Jazz Grizzlies, Friday night at 9 Eastern. The NBA's on TNT. Don't miss a game.
I've got a problem. I love to read. So when I start a good book, I can't put it down. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I have to keep reading. Then as soon as I finish, I can't wait to start the next one. I better get started.
Start with the global resources of CNN, add the style and savvy of Sports Illustrated, and you get what the Associated Press calls a blockbuster. CNN SI, the 24-hour sports news network.
We're beginning to realize what our niche is, and our niche is defending and rebounding. And when you bring some of the new players into the fold, it just takes a while for you to gel as a team. And I think we're responding. We're playing very well and reading each other a lot better. We still turn the basketball over, which I still think is our Achilles heel right now. But outside of that, I think it's a lot of room for improvement. And once we get to the next level, where Chicago is, then I guess that we have arrived.
After years in New Jersey and in Portland, Buck Williams with the Knicks, and he is among those who's playing very well.
Yeah, he really is. And they brought him in here to be a defensive player. They're more surprised at his offense. They knew what they were going to get with his rebounding and defense, but he is one of the better offensive players on this team already. He's a guy that you know exactly what you're going to get. He's not going to do anything differently, and that's why Van Gundy loves him.
See the story on turnovers thus far. Here's Drexler. John Wallace has Mario Elie. Olajuwon in and out. Rebound Patrick Ewing. Ewing with 30 points plus in each of the last two games, that weekend series against Boston. The so-called throwback series. Here's Ewing with a nice strong move. Does not get the roll, and Barkley clears the ball. Picked up by John Wallace. Now he kicks it over to Olajuwon. Barkley with the rebound. Up, knocked cleanly away by Wallace. And Charles thought he might get a call. Did not. Here's Ewing at the other end, and he gets the call on Drexler.
Whoa. Yeah, I tell you what, Barkley gets hammered, and so does Ewing. I'm surprised, very surprised, that Barkley didn't get that call, especially when you look at who fouled him. And that was John Wallace, a rookie.
And at the other end, Drexler gets the call, his first, and Ewing goes to the line. Patrick, as we mentioned, with a 30-point effort against Boston on Saturday night. That was preceded by a 31-point effort in Boston on Friday, and you can see how he has excelled at the free throw line in the last few games.
Shooting free throws, he's doing everything well right now. You keep hearing the line, show me the money. It's his contract year, but he's just playing basketball because he wants to win a championship.
Well, David Falk, his agent, has said there will be no contract negotiations until July 1st. Underneath, the feed from Barkley, and Elie can't make it go. There's Olajuwon with a loose ball. Another turnover. Drexler, the jumper over Oakley for three.
Another turnover, another basket off the turnover. And Hakeem Olajuwon has the best hands in the league at the center position.
And not a surprise that Houston has gone back to the three-point play. Under Tom Janovich, they have excelled with the three-point basket. 5:21, alley-oop, Allan Houston.
Wow.
Off the feed from Wallace.
He's a shooter, but he can also get off the ground, because I didn't think he had any chance of getting that basketball.
18-15, Rockets by three. Maloney goes by Child. Dishes back to Olajuwon. Ewing out. Now here's Elie and Drexler for three again. Good job by Barkley. Loose ball foul called on Charles Barkley. And the call is made by Paul Mahalik. Now he's going to get... No, they didn't tee him up. I thought they might.
Well, they're being very nice not to. He just threw the ball in the crowd.
Yep.
And he did foul. He went over Chris Child's back. He's more upset at the non-call the play before that, and that's why he's venting his anger right now. But that was a foul.
Chris Childs and the Knicks trailing by three, 4:50 to go, opening quarter. Allan Houston Wallace, nice job of fighting for the rebound, but it goes right to Maloney. 2-on-2 as the Knicks, as the Rockets come down. Barkley, 4-3, yes.
Boy, he's shooting that well. And in most cases, you don't mind him taking that shot if you're the Knicks. Now he's starting to run his mouth a little bit, and the rest will watch that.
Yeah, Barkley is still jawing at Charles Oakley. You didn't really think that Charles Barkley was going to keep quiet for long, did you?
Repeat after me. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. Are you with me now? Okay, pop quiz. The brand new 97 sedan that's roomier than Camry is achingly beautiful and has a warranty that would be your basic mother of all reliability statements. Yes, that would be the Hyundai Sonata. And right now, you can get $1,000 cash back. So there's just one more thing. It's called a test drive. So, get in the car. Now.
Hey, I'm Joe Bob Briggs in New Orleans for the big game, and I got the biggest, weirdest tailgate party in town. I got 16 hours of back-to-back monster movies. We got killer robots, teenage vampires, good witches, bad witches. Even the Day of Ill himself is going to make an appearance.
Look at me, Damien.
So get that lazy boy into position. I do not want to have to tell you a second time.
Watch Super Monster Vision, starting with The Omen at 2, Sunday, January 26th on TNT. This January on TNT, witness the laws of nature in action. Some will fight. Some will flee. It's predator versus prey. And only the strongest will survive. This January, step into the wild on TNT.
Well, since December 1st, no surprise to find Chicago atop with the best record in the NBA. But how about them Knicks?
I tell you what, those Knicks are playing great. You look at that list, there's a ton of good basketball teams in the NBA. Everyone's talking about how the league is not that good anymore. I remember when I first came in the league, there was only 2 good teams every year, the Lakers and the Celtics. Now there's 6, 7, maybe 8 teams that has a chance of winning the championship.
Oh, you look at the Midwest division with Chicago, not Midwest, but Chicago. What, every team save 2 is above 500 in the division.
That's pretty awesome. They have a chance of having 11 teams in the East be over 500.
Ewing can't get it. Barkley with another rebound. And Olajuwon and Ewing have a few words to say to each other. Barkley, he feels it now, but that one won't go. And Ewing clears it. Gets it out to Allan Houston. 21-15, 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Another New York turnover. Well, these have become 2 good rebounding teams. Take a look at Oakley and Barkley.
And that's the reason they're 2 good rebounding teams. When you got 2 guys like that willing to fight every time for the ball, you're going to have a good rebounding team.
In their loss to Chicago, Houston was out-rebounded by 18. And I think they were embarrassed by that. Olajuwon. That one knocked out of bounds by Olajuwon, but it'll be New York's ball.
And just look at Olajuwon's hands. Even on that play against a guard, he still gets him in there. He has the quickest hands, again, in the league at his position, and he causes a lot of problems for big men with his hands.
Childs on the dribble, picked up by Maloney. Ewing calls for it. They work it around to the right side. Here's Oakley. Little pump fake. Nice play.
Yeah, that was a nice play. That's a bonus, because the Knicks aren't looking for that. They're not used to seeing Charles Oakley score on the post. I'm not used to seeing them go to Charles Oakley on the post. That was the play Jeff Van Gundy called in the timeout because Charles Barkley was running his mouth, and he wanted to repay his Warriors.
Kevin Willis and John Starks getting ready to come into the ball game. Here's Drexler for 2. So the Rockets have the answer, and it's back to a 6-point game. We're under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
You can see Drexler and Barkley, who both had bad games against Chicago, come out to tell people that was a fluke. We can play.
Now, Clyde Drexler in that Chicago game was 3 of 11 for 7 points. There's Chris Childs with a 3-pointer.
That's the second one. He missed another wide open one. Matt Maloney is going under on the pick and rolls, and Chris Childs will take that shot.
Childs 2 of 2. Maloney cuts through. Well, they work it around right side. There's the defensive switch. Drexler, Barkley, got it. Foul by Wallace, goes to the free throw line.
Well, that was a great play. That was a great play by Clyde Drexler. And the one thing that Van Gundy was worried about was Charles Oakley helping too much and giving Charles Barkley shots like that. Charles Oakley is a great help defender, but he wants him to stay home a little bit more tonight because he's worried if you leave him, if you leave Barkley, Barkley's going to make bad things happen to your team.
Foul called on Patrick Ewing, his first. Barkley with a chance to pick up his 12th first quarter point. Had a monster game on the road against Philadelphia last week with 25 rebounds in that win. But he had not been shooting well in the 2 games on the road prior to that.
Yeah, he's punished Philadelphia ever since they traded him.
Right. 26-20, 2:09 to go, first quarter of play. Starks in, they lose it.
Wow.
Buck Williams getting ready to come in for the Knicks.
I'm glad we talked about turnovers before the game because they are just giving the ball to the Rockets every single time right now.
Van Gundy said he had 2 concerns tonight. One was turnovers, and he also did not want to have Houston at the free throw line where they go to the line an awful lot. Over 1,000 times already this season. Willis. Kevin Willis. Short with a shot. Here comes John Starks. Starks revisits the site of one of his lowest points here, Game 7 of the 94 finals when he went 2 of 18. But the Knicks have won the last 4 regular season games against the Rockets. And John Starks had played big roles in those games, particularly here.
Yeah, he really has. He's bounced back from that, obviously. If you look at the Knicks, they have 8 turnovers already in this game. That's amazing. They can't keep that rate up and win.
Barkley, 12 points already. Up and under, make it 14.
Boy. Oh, he's going right at Charles Oakley. And in Oakley's defense, he's not going to get the ball as much as Charles Barkley. So he shouldn't get into a match with him because he's not going to outscore him.
Biggest lead of the first quarter now for the Rockets. Randy Livingston has come on the floor, and he picks up Chris Childs. Childs goes right by him.
Chris Childs.
Good screen to get him out of the way. Here's Randy Livingston, a rookie, picked in the 2nd round out of LSU, where he had 2 injury-plagued seasons. Oh, what a pass. And this kid loves to pass the basketball and can do so very well.
Yeah, the difference between him and Matt Maloney is the guy who can shoot the jumper. Randy Livingston wants to drive to the basket, make things happen, and dish it off.
Final 36 seconds of the first quarter. Here's Starks. That was for 2. Kevin Willis with a rebound. As Olajuwon gets the rest for the final couple of minutes of the first quarter. Drexler. He'll go to the free throw line.
Fouls on number 3.
Let's revisit this confrontation with Oakley and Barkley.
You can look at this, and Charles Barkley's going to get this all day. One of the things the Knicks do not like doing is double team. They feel if you double team, it weakens the team defense. Oakley basically right now is down there by himself, and at the last minute you can see John Starks try to help out. That's a tough matchup for anybody to guard Charles Barkley by themselves.
Drexler will shoot one more. He's a 76% free throw shooter over the course of the season. Back to an 8-point margin. Clyde Drexler with 7 points, had that quiet night in Chicago. So the 2 guys who were really disappointed with particularly their offensive performances in the Windy City have come back big in the first quarter tonight.
Especially, obviously, Barkley, but Drexler has had a habit of when he has a bad game, he comes back and backs it up with a great game.
Underneath, what a pass.
What a pass by Chris Childs.
Whoa, Buck Williams was the happy recipient of the ball. Ellie, we have reached the end of one. Charles Barkley with a terrific first quarter before the hometown fans. 14 points for Barkley on 5 of 9 shooting. And the Rockets are up by 6 at the end of one.
Some people think he is a hero.
Name's Cable. This is my home.
Other people think he's a traitor.
You don't belong here.
But most people want him dead. Emmy Award winner Tom Selleck, Keith Carradine, and David Carradine star in a story of survival. Elmore Leonard's Last Stand at Sabre River. World premiere Sunday at 8, only on TNT, the best movie studio on television.
Precious Hotline, what's your problem?
We're stuck with Skunky Beer.
So it's not Budweiser?
No.
Remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
Next time, look for this.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Precious Hotline.
Could we order some Chinese?
Well, I want to ask Allan Iverson.
Hey, Allan, do you like to play in the zone?
Hey, Allan, what do you think about Philly?
Hey, Iverson, you want to go one-on-one?
Hey, Al, you think you can take me?
I don't think so.
Hey, Allan, how high can you jump?
When do you plan to have a ring on your finger?
Hey, Allan, how fast are you?
So when you coming down for a cheesesteak?
Yo, Al, what's up with
those shoes?
Allan, what's up with the shoes? These are good questions. Very good questions.
Everyone's getting a kick out of Jackie Chan's First Strike. It's the kind of pure entertainment Hollywood hardly makes anymore. It's more fun than any 007 flick of the last dozen years. Nobody's action movies are more fun than Jackie Chan. He's the world's top action star. Jackie Chan's First Strike, rated PG-13, now playing.
Those of us who spent much of our lives in this state realize what ice storms can do to cities which are unprepared for them. But we can also appreciate the music of the great Western swing band Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. I'm sure Jeff Van Gundy in his upbringing loved Western swing music, huh?
He might have.
I don't think so. Second year as a coach, 6 years as an assistant. Doc, you know him very well. He is really prepared, isn't he?
He really is. He gets his team prepared. He practices them hard. You know, it's funny. He was really tough on them, but they really like him. That's a great trait to have if you're a coach.
Charles Ward has joined Chris Childs and John Starks in the backcourt now as Van Gundy goes with the three-guard set on the floor. Here's Starks. Goes inside. Kevin Willis gets the rebound as Olajuwon continues to rest. Randy Livingston at the point now. Barkley stays on the floor. Here's Kevin Willis. He'll pass him the shot. Barkley won't. No. Double team comes from Starks. That leaves Sam Mack open, and he catches air. That's great if you're running moguls on a ski resort.
Yeah, boy.
But not so good. And here's another steal from Drexler. Oh, what a pass. Sam Mack. Beautiful play from the veteran Clyde Drexler.
That's the 9th New York turnover and the 12th point off the turnover. They can't keep doing this. The Rockets shot 59% in the first quarter, and they shot it because they got so many turnovers.
Starks off the dribble. Blocked by Kevin Willis. There's Mack. He goes left side back to Barkley, and they caught a photographer right in the lens. But another turnover, that's 10.
Just one after another, and once they get it, they run. The Rockets don't run unless they get turnovers. Right now, they're running because they're getting a lot of turnovers.
There's Oakley come over to set the screen for John Starks. He takes the jumper for three. Rebound Livingston for Houston. Starks 0 for 4, foul called on the shot.
And for the Knicks, it's one shot and you're out, and the Rockets are off and running. The one thing that Jeff Van Gundy has always been concerned about with this team is transition D with the big guys, and right now it looks like the Rockets have known that, and their big guys are really running out on the break. Kevin Willis on that play was under the boards and got the ball, and now he's on the free throw line.
Gets the first tomorrow night. The Magic goes into Dallas to take on the Mavericks on PBS. On Friday night, Utah goes north of the border to meet Vancouver. And then a week from tonight, Doc and I will be in Chicago as these same New York Knicks take on the Chicago Bulls.
Number 33, Patrick Ewing.
Look at those shoulders, Vern. I couldn't even buy those.
That's a little weight, huh? Weight work?
Yes, it is.
Ewing back on the... Buck Williams gets it. Let's set the lineup now. It's Charlie Ward who's got the ball. Williams, Ewing, Chris Childs, and John Starks. Almost another turnover. And for the Rockets, it's Randy Livingston. Brent Price has come on the floor now. The acquisition in the offseason who was thought to be the point guard until he suffered that broken elbow in one of the last preseason games in San Antonio.
And with this Van Gundy lineup, he has 2 point guards and a 2 guard out on the court right now. That has enabled Rudy to put Brent Price in the game.
Brent Price tries to get the rebound. Williams takes it away. And a fresh 24 now for the New York Knicks. They trail by 9. Childs. The runner, no. Loose ball picked up by Barkley. And Buck Williams picks him up. Knicks haven't gotten a field goal in the second quarter, and Buck Williams picks up another foul. Charles Barkley will go to the free throw line.
It really doesn't matter right now who's on Charles Barkley. He's dominating this basketball game. He's come with what Rudy was worried about was emotion, but he brought it tonight. Intensity is definitely here.
But he had that big game in Philly last week when he was 7 of 14, 18 points and 25 rebounds. But prior to that, he'd gone 2 for 12 in Cleveland, 3 for 11 in Minnesota. And then he had the games against Chicago that in which he didn't really help the team much. But tonight, wow.
And he's doing it all over. He's not just doing it on the offensive end. He's getting block shots. He's causing steals. He's playing great defense. And he's in Charles Oakley's head. He's in Buck Williams' head right now. But I can guarantee you both of those guys will be back, and they'll be fighting. Not literally fighting. At least we hope not.
First double-digit lead of the night. It's at 11. Allan Houston back on the floor now with Ward, Buck Williams, John Starks, and Ewing. Double team comes from Randy Livingston. That leaves Starks open, and he cans, or Houston rather, and he cans the 3.
Yeah, and that's where they need to go. They need to get some easy shots, and the only way they're going to get easy shots is by causing double teams. The only guy the Rockets will double team is Patrick Ewing. So go down to him and see what happens.
Barkley. Over to Price. Gets the 3. That is his first three-pointer of the season. He had been 0 for 10 since coming off the injured list. Not only does he can the 3, he shoots the free throw. It was a year ago tomorrow night he began a streak in which he hit 13 straight three-pointers.
And what caused that shot was a break by Kevin Willis. Kevin Willis breaks the lane. Charlie Ward has to pick him up and then try to get back. You can't do both. At least you can't do both in time.
Took a while, but we found him. And it's a 4-point play for Brent Price, 38-27. 22nd timeout.
You know, you look at both of these teams, and it's pretty surprising right now, Vern. The Rockets are playing with a lot of intensity, and the Knicks don't look like, at this point, they're playing hard, but they don't look like they have the fire right now, and this is a big game for them.
Let me correct the three-point call. Brent Price was inside the line, and that was a 2-point basket, so he's still looking for his first 3 of the season.
Well, you knew he was going to make the free throw.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-point play, however you can get it.
Yes.
Now, we talked a while ago about this Central Division. Look at the standings, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, what you should look at is the bottom 2 teams, or the bottom 3 teams. Indiana and Milwaukee will be over 500 when this year is out. And look at Toronto. Nobody wants to play Toronto. Darryl Walker right now has that team trapping everybody, driving them crazy. No one wants to go in Toronto and play them because they know if they're not hot, if they're not shooting the ball real well, they're going to lose.
Among the teams they have defeated this year, the Houston Rockets.
Chicago Bulls.
Right.
Utah Jazz.
Pretty good trio. Here's Ward for 3. Buck Williams gets the offensive board. Throws it out to Houston. Brent Price goes for the steal. It was exactly that kind of play in which Brent Price broke that left elbow.
Yeah, and it was right in front of us.
Exactly.
That was almost deja vu. All over again.
I don't mind a redundancy now, man. Allan Houston will inbound. Knicks 1 of 6 from the floor here in the second period, and they trail by 11, 38-27. Brent Price.
But if you look at that play right there, what we just saw right in front of us, Allan Houston had the inside track to that ball, and Brent Price went harder at it. And they were very fortunate not to come up with it, or the Knicks were very fortunate that they didn't. And right now, that's effort and intensity.
Ward to Ewing, guarded by Kevin Willis. Tipped. Another turnover. I don't think Tom Jonovich was voting thumbs down on that.
No, he was not. Very happy.
10 turnovers now for the New York Knicks. Here's Price. Trap. They get it in the hands of Olajuwon, who's back on the floor. He had a pretty good rest. And here's the jump hook from Kevin Willis.
Yeah, like Rudy said, we can go to Kevin Willis. He won't draw the double team. We're not worried about his passing. We want him to score down there when he gets it.
Buck Williams can't get the ball to fall, so he'll go to the free throw line where he'll shoot 2 free throws. The foul is on Sam Mack. So they can't buy a basket in the second quarter.
The reason they can't, because they're rarely getting a shot. Most of the time they're turning the ball over. Each shot is so far and in between right now, they're having a tough time getting shots up and good shots, and they're feeling the pressure.
One more for Buck Williams. 63% free throw shooter.
He's never been a great free throw shooter, but, you know, I don't know if young people remember. This guy at one point was the dominant power forward in the game. He's been around a long time, and it looks like he has several years left.
As he reminded us this morning, and he says, you guys forget I played 5 years in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Not. 40-28. Here's Willis. Olajuwon calls for it. Buck Williams is on him. Olajuwon for 2. And it's a 14-point Houston lead. Timeout called by the New York Knicks. Second quarter has been owned by the Rockets. They're up by 14.
Jazz Grizzlies, Friday night at 9 Eastern. The NBA's on TNT.
It's one of the most comfortable cars I've ever driven.
People love talking about Ford Taurus.
It's fun to drive. It really is.
With Taurus, you fit in no matter what size you are.
I'm big.
I'm surprised by how much room there is inside it.
Everybody in my family's big.
Just turn the wheel a fraction of an inch. The car responds.
There's a lot more room.
It's designed so I don't have to search for anything. The seats feel like they wrap around you.
It's a state-of-the-art car. Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America, starting at $18,545.
This car is a pleasure to drive.
I have fun.
Threaten a man's home, and he'll stop at nothing to protect it. Threaten a man's family, and his wrath is unending.
Name's Cable. This is my home.
Tom Selleck, Keith Carradine, and David Carradine star in a story of survival. Elmore Leonard's Last Stand at Sabre River. World premiere Sunday at 8, only on TNT, the best movie studio on television.
A father and his son square off in a head-to-head half-court battle. The father, a former NFL star, can't stop his son.
Hill gets the basket. What a terrific play by Grant Hill.
Playing his dad made Grant Hill feel like he could do anything. And now, on court in the NBA, he can.
Thanks, Dad.
See the NBA's best every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night on TNT and TBS. Don't miss a game.
Here's the way it looks in the Atlantic Division coming into tonight. Miami won last night, but they're still a half game back. High expectations, Doc, for the Washington Bullets this year.
Yeah, it really was. You look at their youth, they have so many players, they have so much talent, and they didn't start out in the gates. But this is a young basketball team. I think they're still trying to learn how to play the game, and more importantly, learn how to play defense as a group. That's the one thing I don't think they've done well. But look at those numbers.
Not bad for Howard, Weber, and Strickland. And we're back to live action here with 7:48 to go in the first half. Ward finds Ewing. Traveled.
And he did. He did. I mean, look at this. Ewing hits his first shot, and he missed the next two, and he hasn't shot the ball since early in the first. That was his first shot attempt. The reason they're turning the ball over, they're trying to get the ball to him. They're just not getting it to him. It's a lot like the Chicago Laker game when Shaq couldn't get the ball for the final 8 minutes of the game. You turn it over, you can't get it to your big guy.
Brent Price to Kevin Willis. Double team comes from Starks. Knocked away. Saved.
It's still Rockets ball.
And it'll be the Rockets ball with 9 on the 24. Rudy Tomjanovich in his 6th season as the head coach here with those back-to-back NBA championships in 94 and 95.
It's a shame you don't hear his name mentioned more as a great coach, because he is.
Olajuwon. Randy Livingston gets it to go.
Right now, the Rockets are getting every shot they want. They get the ball to Barkley in the post, to Olajuwon in the post. Drexler is getting threes. Willis is getting the ball in the post. Everything they want right now, they're getting.
Allan Houston finds Ewing, but Ewing has to adjust his shot. And here comes Brent Price for the Rockets. Dishes left side. Olajuwon will pass. Charlie Ward picks up Brent Price. There's the pick and roll with Olajuwon. Drexler to Willis. Turnaround jumper goes.
That's what they brought him in for. He's a scorer, and he can really score down on the post, especially when there's no double teams coming.
In the second quarter, the Rockets 6 of 7 from the field. Conversely, New York can't buy a basket. Ward kicks it out to Houston. Still can't. Olajuwon with a rebound. They're beating him on the boards as well. At the other end, Sam Mack, guarded by John Starks. Olajuwon goes baseline. A rare miss. Ewing with a rebound. A 16-point, 46-28 lead. Houston over Sam Mack finally.
And he won't miss those. Those are the shots that he likes. He loves having the live dribble and being able to take a guy.
A turnover for the Rockets. Here's Allan Houston, right side for Starks. He spots up. Doesn't get the three. Willis clears the rebound. Third rebound now for Kevin Willis. A Houston team that has dramatically improved its rebounding skills this season, in large part because Barkley has joined them and takes an average of 15 a game. Starks is 0 for 5 in the ballgame. Double team taken away by Starks. He's got Price back. Here comes Mack to help, and he gets the first basket of the night.
And the last 3 times down the court, for whatever reason, you see more energy in the Knicks. Maybe they see themselves down now by 14 and they have to make something happen. But they're starting to do that, and that's why Rudy Tomjanovich just called a timeout.
20-second timeout taken with 5:08 to go in the first half of play. And they've now changed it to a full timeout. 46-32. Rockets lead by 14.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Fila. Change the game.
This is Ford Escort. Did you know that it's new? If you knew that it's new, did you know the wagon's new too? The engine is new, the suspension improved. A safety cell protects but stays out of view. It's quieter inside to shush out the out. But for those who simply must twist and shout, there's premium speakers on a new stereo, so you can get every note and get it to go. This Escort is great. This Escort is nice. This Escort has a very sensible price. So why not check out the newest Escort this season? We've given you every rhyme and rhymed every reason.
Ma, you gotta get me out of here. This is not a nice place. Picking up bad habits, Ma. They're making me do bad things. Will you blind out of my face? They're even trying to change the way I look. They can't get any worse than this. I said you got the wrong number, chump.
Oh, Granty. Meet George, your new personal trainer.
Nice to meet you.
Not nice.
Not nice. That's right. Not nice.
Watch the Knicks trap right here. John Starks will come down, trap the ball. Charlie Ward will take away the passing lane. They'll get a steal. They're starting to make things happen right now with their energy. Watch Starks come down and Charlie Ward rotate to take the passer away. And off and running, and that's what the Knicks are going to have to do to get back in this game. Turnovers and conversions.
During the timeout, Rudy Tomjanovich has gone back to Barkley and Ellie. They come in. And Drexler and Olajuwon stay on the floor. Along with Randy Livingston at the point guard. John Wallace is back on the floor now, along with Houston, Ward, Oakley, and Buck Williams. Illegal defense, that's the first call tonight, so there's the warning.
And that was quick. That ball was in the post and out, and they called it. That's a tough, quick illegal defense call.
Mario Ellie. There's Barkley, had that torrid first quarter. Quiet in number 2. Guarded now by Buck Williams. Illegal defense number 2.
Yeah, and that's all Charles Barkley. He is such a smart basketball player. He's just waiting and waiting to see what they're doing. The Knicks are running all over the place right now, and it's because of Charles Barkley. He's making them move around. He probably draws 2 illegal defenses a game just by the way he plays.
Now they caught Charlie Ward for the second time, and so Mario Ellie goes to the free throw line.
And it's funny, you're probably saying, well, he causes them now because it's Olajuwon and Drexler on his team. He did it everywhere he goes. He causes illegal defense. He did it in Philly, and he does it in Phoenix, and now he's doing it again in Houston. It's the way Charles Barkley plays.
Drive you nuts?
It drives you crazy because you don't know when he's trying to score or when he's trying to bluff you. He's just down there playing chicken right now with everyone.
Here's Barkley after Ellie gets the technical. Up and under, no. Oh, did he want it?
Yeah, he did. And you can see that time he was going to try to score. He went to the bucket to score, but no one trapped because they thought he was playing chicken again. He gets the free bucket.
Oakley's second foul. Barkley back at the free throw line.
I mean, just watch him here. He's just looking around and waiting. He's waiting to see what happens. But right now he knows, well, this time I'm going to try to shoot the ball. What they do in shoot-arounds, the coaches, they sit around and they say, well, let's go on the dribble when we think it's a threatening dribble. With Charles Barkley, you never know when it's a threatening dribble. He's a good bluffer.
Yeah, what is a threatening dribble?
That's what
I'm learning from you.
A threatening dribble is when the guy is threatening to score.
Okay.
But we never know. I think he's always threatening.
Exactly. Yeah, some people consider Barkley a threat.
Yes.
6 or 6 from the free throw line and a total of 18 points tonight for Charles. And a 17-point lead, one shy of the largest lead of the night, 4.5 to go in the first half of play. Allan Houston picked up by Mario Ellie. Another turnover. Oh, man. Been the story of the game thus far, that and Barkley's offensive output. Oakley picks him up again. Barkley backs up off the dribble. They dare him to take the shot. He almost caught air, and Barkley starts laughing.
Well, he's laughing because Oakley was acting like he was daring him to take the shot, but really Oakley was shaking out of his shoes. So he acted like, well, you're going to take that shot. But that was just a great move. I mean, Oakley had to tie his shoes after that shot. I mean, look at this. He's like, wow, did I shake him? He's more upset that he missed it, though. That was smart by Oakley not to go back out there.
Giles for 3. Yes.
The guards are keeping the Knicks into the game right now. John Starks with this play, Charlie Ward, Chris Giles, and Allan Houston. They're keeping them in the game.
14-point lead. Chris Giles with 11 points. Back in the lineup for the second time, the second game, as we said. He missed 3 games with back spasms. Skip pass. Randy Livingston. Here's Olajuwon, that batting baseline jumper. Barkley with another rebound.
Boy, he gets pinned. Buck Williams under the basket so he couldn't move. You don't see that happen to Buck Williams very often.
Double team, Allan Houston. Drexler picks up the pass and can the 3. Beautiful execution from Barkley and Drexler. The lead is 17. Clyde Drexler in double digits now with 10 points. And a foul called on Olajuwon.
Foul is on number 3, Randy Livingston. That's his first personal foul.
Now Patrick Ewing, who has played so well in the recent months, not a factor tonight.
He really isn't, and the reason he isn't, he's not getting the ball very much. He has very few touches in this game, and they need him right now to get more touches and get involved. He's 1 for 4 from the field right now. He's 1 for 4 because he's not in the offense, and he's not in the offense because they're turning the ball over.
Matt Maloney gives Randy Livingston the rest, so rookie guard for rookie guard. Here's Ewing, foul by Olajuwon.
I think Patrick would have rather had that shot go in and them count it instead of them call that foul.
On number 34, Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's the first foul on Hakeem Olajuwon, who, of course, is a devout Muslim. He's in the midst of the Feast of Ramadan right now, which means that he has to fast during the daylight hours. But he seems to handle it very well.
He really does. Like, games like tonight don't bother him because he gets to eat at night. It's the games and the days that really affect his play.
Time has been called.
Happy birthday, NBA.
Here come the discount long-distance sales reps again. They'd like some more of your precious time. Because if you've got a minute, they've got an offer of big savings over AT&T. Just one catch. That offer of big savings may show up at your door, but it won't show up on your bill. Has a discount long-distance company offered you big savings? Call us for the facts.
It's at home, anywhere.
Oh, that brother can play the flute.
Super Bowl party. We're definitely going to have to cut that
That's
guest.
right. We got to make some cuts. First up, Tara Banks. I know she's in. Michael Johnson. My man. Tiger Woods. Lisa Leslie. George Gervin. Ken Griffin Jr. Harry Sanders. Cyrus Richardson. You know, he played the sergeant in double action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's in.
The man's a thespian. And last on the list, Charles Barkley. Dear Charles, my dog ate the phone book.
We have an old team, and 4 games in 5 nights or back-to-back games, we're going to struggle at times. And I think our team is a little bit tired. You know, they traded a lot of players to get me. Me, Clyde, and Dream had to play more than we would like. And we play 2 games in 2 nights or 4 games in 5 nights, we're going to be tired.
Well, Rudy Tomjanovich does rely on his starting 5 for a lot of the production, Doc.
He really does, but if I had Olajuwon, Drexler, and Barkley, I would rely on those 3 guys also. What he says is their bench is not bad because their bench is always playing with at least 1, probably 2 all-stars with them all the time.
Go back and take a look at Barkley and Oakley just a few moments ago. Well, maybe not.
We can see the laugh. That's like the crime afterwards.
That's an oops.
Yes.
That's a turnover. 52-35, 3:02 to go in the first half of play. John Wallace, the rookie from Syracuse, off that 19-point game. He's guarded by Drexler. And a foul is called.
I'll tell you what, Chris Childs right now is giving Matt Maloney everything he can handle. One of the other things that I'm surprised the Knicks aren't going to right now is Clyde Drexler is holding John Wallace, and I think the Knicks should really think about going down there. He has such a size advantage over Drexler right now. For anything, he can get him in foul trouble.
Now Maloney picked up his first foul. Here's the pick and roll, and Childs with a little running scoop shot. Another rebound. That's 7 for Barkley. 52-35. New York has won the rebounding battle in its last 11 games, but they're losing it tonight. And to a Houston team that was badly out-rebounded and lost to Chicago. Here's Maloney. Whoa!
It's a clinic. It's a clinic. They're getting everything they want. Charles Barkley was responsible for that whole play because he saw he had a mismatch with Allan Houston on him, and that caused all the rotation.
Largest lead of the night now. We are at 20 with 2:13 to go in the first half of play. Patrick Ewing, almost another turnover. Childs. Olajuwon comes out to help. Chris Childs, reverse layup. Nice.
Yeah, that is nice. They need him right now. He's the only one being really aggressive. I think Patrick Ewing would be, but he can't get the basketball.
13 points for Chris Childs. He leads all the Knicks. Jump ball. Chris Childs, as you said, giving Matt Maloney a bit of a lesson.
Yeah, he really is. He's going right at him. And I think Chris Childs is looking at this game right now and saying, I have a mismatch, and I'm going to try to exploit that right now.
Chris Childs, at 29 years of age, only his third in the NBA. Well-documented battle with alcohol, but he went to a clinic in 1993 and has been sober since. Also found his way finally with the New Jersey Nets, and then he cashed in as a big free agent. How about this?
And that's awful because that was an awful toss. And everyone in the gym except for Clyde Drexler thought that there was going to be a whistle and a re-jump. Clyde kept running. He said, hey, I might get a layup out of this. And he did.
Back to a 20-point margin as we near 95 seconds to go, and Ewing is fouled. Watch Drexler.
And just watch everybody stand still after this. This was an awful toss. Clyde Drexler, I'll run. No one else did. He gets a free layup.
Olajuwon's second foul. Drexler with the layup. Jeff Van Gundy, his demeanor remains calm.
Not inside.
No.
Not inside. You know, we talk about quiet storms and hurricanes before the game. There's a hurricane inside of him right now, and the Knicks will hear it at halftime.
Ewing gets the first. Well, among the battles Van Gundy has to fight is the battle of the back page with the tabloids in New York City. He said at least when they've gone 17-3, he said they have taken the noose from around my neck.
Yeah, they have. And if this continues, they'll put it back on tomorrow. You know, he said something funny and very interesting. He said in New York, it's not the headlines you should read. You should read the articles because sometimes they're not as bad as the headlines.
Mario Elie off the dribble. Wallace guarding him. Here's Drexler for three. No. Ewing clears the ball. That's 5 rebounds for Pat Ewing. 57-39 with 1:15 to go in the half. Maloney, but he knocks it out of bounds. Coming up at the Nike halftime, Reggie Theus is in our Atlanta studios with Ernie Johnson. They'll have highlights from tonight's action as the Bulls and the Hawks go for 7 in a row. And to look at last weekend's retro series between the Celtics and the Knicks.
And the rumor was that Red Auerbach was coaching in that game.
I saw a pregame feature Saturday night with Tommy Heinsohn and Dave Busher on the train. It was kind of fun. Barkley is fouled again. You didn't think the uniforms were legit, though, right?
No, not at all. They were way too loose. I wore it. Well, I wasn't that old. I didn't really wear the retro uniforms, but my uniforms 10 years ago were not loose. Couldn't breathe.
Barkley back at the free throw line. John Starks gets ready to check back in for New York.
Checking into the game for the Knicks, number 3, John Starks.
John Wallace will get a rest for the remainder of the half.
One shot, Barkley.
And Charles shoots one more.
Well, one of the things the Knicks are known for, no easy layups. I'd say Charles Barkley would probably tell you that that was not an easy layup right there.
Back to a 20-point margin with 54 seconds to go. First half of play. Charles Barkley has 20. And Drexler has another turnover. Wow. Another steal.
I've never seen this from this Knicks team, at least. They're so talented, and they keep giving a great team another chance to up the league, and they will.
Barkley, yes, they will. He'll have a little bit to say to Oakley as he goes by him.
Well, he can say what he wants right now. He's up by 22 points. You just hope Oakley doesn't lose it because he knows they're down by 22.
13 New York turnovers. Childs, Oakley, and they called Barkley for the foul.
He got away with a push, or he didn't get away with a push.
Barkley, that's his second personal foul.
Oakley and Barkley have words with each other yet again.
Charles
13 New York turnovers that have led to 18 Houston points.
Yeah, and only 7 by Houston, which in some games people would say is a lot, but 7 is fine. That's 14 for the game. I can take that. Only 4 points off those turnovers.
Oakley at the free throw line. He shoots a couple.
And we keep talking about the intensity. When you turn the ball over, as a player, you lose intensity. When you keep doing it over and over again, first you're looking at a guy, he made a turnover. Then the other guy makes a turnover. And you start pointing fingers, and you start getting frustrated. And you can see it on the Knicks' faces right now. They're a frustrated team because of their turnovers, nothing else.
Back to a 20-point margin with the final 16 seconds unraveling here at the Summit in Houston. Knocked out of bounds by Oakley.
Out of bounds is still Rockets.
And they're going to jaw at each other again. Careful.
Well, careful, because Barkley, he's up. He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah. He's trying to get him even more frustrated. That's smart. Oakley usually won't fall for things like that.
Barkley. 2 more. Oh, boy. What a first half for Barkley. Starks. Fouled. He'll shoot at the buzzer.
That's his second personal foul.
Barkley, 7 of 12 from the field.
Just doing everything, penetrating, bumping through people. He was going to score on that play. He was going to score because Oakley tried to rip him the last time and had something to say about it.
John Starks at the line.
He's having a great game right now. A great game mentally, physically, in every department.
And he's coming off a game in which he gave way to Dennis Rodman, and he was really angry about it.
And that's what great players do. That's what great athletes do, great fighters, great everyone. When you struggle, you find it deep. He's digging deep right now to show you that that was a fluke. That's not the way I play basketball.
Starks gets the first and will shoot one more. 0.4 of a second put back on the clock with the foul. Charles Barkley, 24 points and 7 rebounds.
That's a game. You know, that's a great game for a lot of good players.
Starks gets 2. Barkley. Rockets outscore New York 33-19 in the second quarter. John Starks trying to talk to Jeff Van Gundy. He's not going to make him very happy. We have reached halftime. It's a 20-point margin as Barkley leads the Rockets to a 63-43 edge.
Vin Baker.
You want to talk about the web? Let's talk about Jack Webb.
You want to tell us a little more about that?
Let's talk about security on the web. You know there are over 50 million people on the web, and they're not all nice.
Liars, cheats,
hackers, snoops,
con men.
Their way from Boston to New York the way they used to.
Put them in. I don't know. Put them in. They have. Yeah. Let me see if they're on here. Take your bags. Go ahead. All aboard. Application.
We used to play like in maybe Friday in New York, Saturday in Baltimore, Saturday night, and then there was a sleeper that would go through, and we'd get back on a sleeper because we would occasionally play Sunday afternoon in Boston, so you couldn't take a chance on hanging around Saturday night in Baltimore.
Well, we'd get over to Penn Station, of course, after the game in Madison Square Garden and jump on the train, get into a Pullman berth, and if you know, those Pullman berths are not very long. And for a guy 6'7", I had to curl up.
I think that we took the train once. That was from Syracuse. And, you know, it snows in Syracuse. I had to get back to Boston.
There were 3 sleepers there were just 3 vacant sleepers. Naturally, they went to Russell, Cousy, and Bill Sharman. The rest of us had to stay up all night. We played cards. We kept each other interested.
There was only one time where we ended up taking a train, and that was on a trip to the West Coast. They had a snowstorm in Boston. We couldn't arrive in Boston. As far as we could get was Newark, New Jersey, and Red Auerbach said, okay, we'll go to Newark. So we ended up in Newark, and everyone figured, well, we have to take a train or do something. And when we get off the plane, Red was going to Washington, which wasn't any problem because that's where his home is. And he said, you guys are on your own. I'll see you in 2 days.
The trip that used to be long was Detroit to Minneapolis by train or any of those other cities. But, this is a 4-hour ride or something. Not too bad. It was quite enjoyable, some of them.
Back when you played, you took the wagon train. Any favorite travel stories on you, Ray?
Ernie, some unbelievable ones out of Chicago. At one time, they had canceled all flights out of Chicago because of weather. We went home, went to sleep, got a 3 a.m. call. The plane still didn't leave till 11. We had to play on the West Coast out of Chicago at 6 o'clock that same day.
3 a.m. call.
3 a.m.
You had just gotten in.
Needless to say, we didn't have Michael Jordan, and we had this guy named Reggie Thiz, and we got waxed.
Oh, my. Tell me about it. Back to wrap things up on the Nike halftime report in just a minute. You're watching the Rockets and the Knicks, and it's all Houston so far. They're up a bunch. They host Penny and the Magic, 8 o'clock Eastern on TBS. A TNT programming note, Friday afternoon, 2 to 5 Eastern. We're going to bring you live coverage of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Join us Friday afternoon on TNT. And tonight, after the Knicks and Rockets, it's Inside the NBA with all the highlights you need and a profile of Chris Webber. He's healthy, and so are his stats. The New York Knicks are not looking too healthy in the first half. Charles has 24, and the Rockets are up by 20. Third quarter coming up.
Here's the thing. Most long-distance plans, very complicated.
Oh, yeah.
But the AT&T one-rate plan, very simple.
How simple?
Calls from home are one low rate all the time.
How much?
It's 15 cents a minute to anybody in America at any time.
And this is AT&T.
That's right.
One rate all the time.
Exactly.
Is there any time when this is not the rate?
There is no time when this is not the rate.
I don't get it.
Am I just being unclear?
No restrictions, no games. The AT&T one-rate plan.
When was the last time the weight of the world felt like nothing more than a feather? When was the last time you had this much fun or ate this much ice cream? And when was the last time you left home for bluer pastures? Holland America Line. It's time.
AAA members save on Holland America Cruises. Call 1-800-222-5951.
The light of a flickering image makes the world come alive.
I am the master of my fate.
Holding a mirror up to our lives, the filmmaker shows us a reflection of our world. TNT is proud to be a part of this grand tradition of storytelling.
I'm out.
You can't get out.
These are the TNT originals. And these are the stars who interpret our world and bring life to our heritage. Movies that challenge us, outrage us, and comfort us. Movies that become a part of our lives. The original motion pictures that only one studio could create. TNT, the best movie studio on television.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Welcome back to Space City. We are on the Gulf Coast of Texas, the city of Houston, and the Rockets have had their way with the New York Knicks at halftime, 63-43. The Houston Rockets lead the Knicks as we get set for the third quarter, and it's time now for what has become a much anticipated halftime feature on these Tuesday night get-togethers. We call it, well, you remember.
What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
Vern, what's up is the pull-up jumper. The in-between game, I call it. If you have this shot in your arsenal, you are in demand. Your defender must honor the drive in the center. He can't step out. As the game tightens, this shot becomes the weapon of choice. I call it the game winner shot. If you have this shot, you've won games.
That's all, folks.
It helps a little bit if Jordan's the guy shooting the ball.
Yeah, it sure does. And Craig, Elo is like the poster child for the pull-up jumper because we've seen Jordan do that on him probably more than anybody on that one highlight.
Give me your take on the first half.
The first half is all about turnovers. Turnovers, and the Knicks are causing them. And when they turn the ball over, Houston scores off of that. That's why you see the score 63-43, not in favor of the Knicks.
13 turnovers for the Knicks, only 7 for Houston in the first half. No turnover from Craig Sager. He joins us now. Craig?
Not yet anyway, Vern. You couldn't find two more diverse locker rooms at half. Jeff Van Gundy was all over his team, talking about a lack of aggression at both ends of the court. He said Charles Barkley is having one of those types of game where we have to match aggression against this team. As for Rudy Tomjanovich, he said that he was enjoying the first half, that Charles came out fired up, and at one point he actually gave him the clipboard and said, "What play do you want to run, Charles?" Back to you, Vern.
Offensive coordinator Charles Barkley.
But like I said, Rudy's a great coach. He's smart enough to figure out that Charles Barkley is rolling. Just get out of the way and let him roll.
Charlie Ward opens the second half with Chris Childs and Allan Houston, a three-guard offense now, and Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, and the change, if you're wondering, is John Wallace is not starting, Charlie Ward is starting. So Jeff Van Gundy has already made a change.
Underneath, Ewing steps in front of it. Here's Ward, finds Childs. Maloney is back. Childs kicks it back outside to Oakley for the jumper. Got it. Nice start for New York.
Real nice start. They cause the turnovers, and they get the shot. And you don't put in three guards unless you're going to do some ball pressing. You know, they're going to be all over the ball. They want to up the tempo of this game right now in their favor.
Here's Barkley, guarded closely by Oakley. Alley-oop. Knocked away. Barkley chases it down, but it's out of bounds, and it will be New York's ball.
And like a veteran team, right away, the Rockets said, now there has to be a mismatch out here, and the mismatch is Chris Childs trying to guard Clyde Drexler.
Drexler returns the favor and guards Childs. Here's Ewing back to Ward for three. How about this start for the Knicks?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to see a quick timeout. Now the Knicks are playing with emotion. You know what's it's amazing? When you play with a lot of emotion in the first half, it's tough to match that in the second half. The Rockets are having a problem doing that right now.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by McDonald's, official restaurant of the NBA and home of the deluxe sandwiches, and by Chevrolet trucks.
McDonald's Not So Risky predictions for 1997. At some point, you'll be put on hold. At some point, you'll crave an Arch Deluxe, fresh toppings, a soft bakery roll, and no waiting for the next available operator. McDonald's Arch Deluxe, America's favorite grown-up taste.
I was strong as I could be. I go rock. Nothing ever got to me.
With a powerful Vortec engine in a Chevy truck, you can go 100,000 miles before the first scheduled tune-up. Great news, especially when you live 100,000 miles from nowhere.
My mom needed money.
Meet the son who did not send the money Western Union.
She had to hitchhike across 3 counties. Took 2 pickups and an 18-wheeler.
And the heartbreak it caused.
Oh, son!
Later tonight.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Believing I could make a difference wasn't the problem. I just didn't know how. I knew I couldn't do everything, but I could do one thing at a time. And I realized I wasn't the only one out there. I've learned so much from so many different people. It's been great getting involved. Team up with your community.
Charles Barkley's been having a huge night, but Clyde Drexler's quietly having a pretty good one himself.
Yeah, you know what? He's Scottie Pippen before Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen. He does little things all game. He gets assists, he blocks shots, steals, rebounds, and he plays the all-out game, but he does it in a quiet fashion. And on this team, he really has to. You got Hakeem Olajuwon and Charles Barkley being very loud every day.
As we have said, yes. Here's Maloney picked up by Charlie Ward. Oops, tries to find Oakley and throws it away. First turnover of the second half.
Yeah, and whatever New York was drinking in the first half, so far Houston has done that in the second half. They switched potions.
Ewing, nope. Barkley with a rebound.
Yeah, he lost the ball going up. Lost the ball going up.
8 rebounds. Barkley, here's Maloney. Childs on Drexler. Olajuwon.
Oh, wow. He made that look easy.
Yeah.
That was not an easy shot.
65-50, first basket of the third quarter. Here's Chris Childs at the other end. Gets the roll.
Chris Childs.
This three-guard offense is causing the Rockets some problems. They're putting a lot of ball pressure on the ball right now. You can see it. They're having a tough time. And the reason they can't get the ball in the post is because of the ball pressure.
Olajuwon guarded by Ewing, of course. It's taken away. Olajuwon gets it back. Spent a lot of time in the lane.
Yeah, he did. He lost the ball. There's 3 guys contesting the shot. He still makes it.
15-point margin once again. Barkley comes out on Childs, now goes back and picks up Oakley. There's the entry pass to Ewing. 1 pump fake and a foul on Olajuwon. Third foul on Hakeem Olajuwon.
And look here, this is the play before. Patrick goes up and really just loses the ball and barely touches the rim. And on the other end, Olajuwon he's been Olajuwon. He's not struggling at all.
Ewing gets the first free throw, shoots 1 more.
1 shot, Lily.
First of the 3-game road trip for the Knicks. They play in San Antonio tomorrow night. And then they're out in Phoenix, in and out, 1 of 2. 14-point margin, 9:20 to go third quarter. Maloney guarded by Ward. Barkley. Oakley. Houston coming with a double team. Barkley with 1 on the shot clock. Got it.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Great D by Charles Oakley, yet Barkley still makes the shot.
Childs with the runner. And the answer.
And that was a smart move the last time down by the Rockets. They see a mismatch, and they've been so concerned about going to it, they forgot what got them there. And what got them there is going to Charles Barkley. And that's what they're doing now. They're saying, forget the mismatch. We're still going to go to Charles Barkley.
Maloney, it's knocked out of bounds by Oakley. Watch the defense here.
I mean, this is great defense. The shot clock is going down. Has him on his back. You can't ask for anything better than that.
And as we get back to the floor, live action foul called on Ewing. That's his second.
That's his second.
And these 2 old warriors, Ewing and Olajuwon, find something to smile about.
Yeah, you won't see 2 of those guys smiling at each other very often, but that's nice to see.
8:30 remaining in the third quarter. Maloney kicks it over to the Mario Ellie in the corner for 3.
He's a quiet assassin on this team. He just goes about his business. And you look at the box score at the end of the game, and he has 15 points and 8 rebounds and things like that.
And he's doing a pretty good defensive job.
Yeah, he's a dirty worker.
Rebound in the hands of Drexler. 17-point Houston lead. There's Barkley. Loses it.
Timeout.
Called timeout as he goes out of bounds. A 22nd timeout.
I hate that call. You know, it's a really smart play. You lose the ball's going out of bounds. and you dive and you call a timeout. I think they should say if you can't land in bounds, you can't call a timeout. That would make the game a little bit more exciting, because then he would have had to throw that thing back on the court, and anything can happen.
Well, there's some conversation about getting rid of that play.
You know who thought of that the first time I ever saw that, and he's not known for being a smart player. John Starks did that in the Philadelphia game. That's the first time I've ever seen it. And it was like the whole league saw it, because the next day everybody was calling.
We talked about how well the teams in the East are playing. Thus cannot be said in the Midwest Division. Minnesota coming on, though, but other than that bottom quartet not playing very well.
No, they're not. But you look at that. Tom Gugliotta of Minnesota is having an all-star year. I hope everyone is listening to that. I should say it again. Tom Gugliotta is having an all-star season. He's playing great. And you look at the Spurs, and if everybody gets healthy, they should be over 500. So that's 2 more teams that are going to come up.
Did I not hear you mention Denver and Dallas?
No, you did not.
And the foul is called. No foul. It'll be Houston ball. Clyde Drexler, he and Hakeem Olajuwon will have their uniforms retired at the University of Houston in February. Underneath, there are the 2 Phi-Slamma-Jamma guys.
They've run that a few times together. I mean, look at it. That's all read. That's an instinct. That's a read play, and you have to play with each other for a while before you can execute that. Who's the best doing that? John Stockton, Karl Malone, and they've been together for a long time also.
Ewing's 3rd foul. Olajuwon gets the free throw. And like that, it's back to a 20-point game with 7:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. $55-75. Chris Childs back to Charlie Ward for 3 off the mark. Olajuwon clears it. Puts it in the hands of Mario Elie, who finds Clyde Drexler. Ward 0 for 4. There's the play again. This time Oakley knocks it away.
Help defense by Charles Oakley. He's the best at it.
Maloney picks up Chris Childs. Here's Ewing. New York with another turnover. Maloney pulls up and takes the 3. Whoops.
Out of bounds. It's Knicks ball.
Take a look at Ruff underneath.
Look at that. And look at the help. Great help defense by Charles Oakley.
Childs at the other end.
See, right now you can see the Knicks, everybody's trying to get them back in the game individually. They're trying to do it one guy instead of teams. And they're not going to get back in the game that way.
They have reduced the turnovers. They've only turned it over once. They had that quick start with 7 points in the first minute and 6 seconds, but the Rockets have come back now, and they lead again by 20. That's where we started the 3rd quarter. Into the backcourt, but touched by Mario Elie, thus still New York's ball. Ward doesn't quite have the touch. Loose ball. Chased down by Charles Barkley. Houston has it. Barkley off the dribble. Over Houston. 2 more.
And Charles Barkley wanted to give the ball to Clyde Drexler in the post. Clyde thought that Charles wanted the ISO. It worked out anyway. It worked out because it was 2 All-Stars.
28 points for Sir Charles. An 8-0 Houston run.
Call your cable operator today and ask about...
Well, the Rockets are up by 22, looking for the knockout punch here against the Knicks. With me, the heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield. And Charles Barkley was the first one out of the locker room. Spent a lot of time talking to you. Did you give him some advice?
Well, no, he was talking about when I told him I was going to win the championship when he played for the Phillies.
You had a lot of confidence in that first match with Mike Tyson. A rematch, I guess, is scheduled for early May. What gives you confidence in the ring that you can beat him not once but twice?
Well, you know, it's pretty much the same thing. I know that I would have to perform a little bit, a little harder, and I had to bring more to the table. I beat him once with a successful plan. I just have to do even more.
what do you think of the heavyweight matchup on the court between Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley?
Well, that's great competition. You can see the game throughout. Both of these guys are really pressuring each other hard, and Charles Barkley really playing well.
Yes, thanks a lot for talking to us. Let's go back to Vernon Douglas.
Okay, well, on the bench tonight for the New York Knicks, Larry Johnson, who grew up in Dallas Skyline High School before he went on to great fame. And Larry, not playing tonight because of a hamstring, was himself a Golden Gloves boxer in Dallas.
Well, so those are things they need to tell players, because I had a confrontation with the guy and I didn't know that. They need to inform us on things like that. He could have hurt me.
Yes, he could have. I would concur with that. I'd also agree with it. 77-57, 5:28 to go third quarter. Olajuwon picked up his fourth while Evander Holyfield was chatting with Craig. And I'm not sure what happened. Oops. Foul called, illegal screen. That's what it was.
His first personal foul.
They got Kevin Willis with a moving screen.
You know, that rule was changed because of Kevin Willis in Atlanta. He was knocking so many guys out. They changed that rule to become an offensive foul, and a lot of players are happy.
Maloney on Childs. Here's Ewing with Kevin Willis guarding him, and Kevin Willis is going to get his second foul.
Now, that's the first time this game that Patrick Ewing has had back-to-back shots. A scorer needs the ball, a scorer needs to be in rhythm, and Patrick Ewing gets the ball 2 times in a row. He gets the ball, and this time he knows exactly what to do with it.
Non-shooting foul, so Allan Houston inbounds. 5:12 to go third quarter. Here's Childs. Nope. Willis with a rebound. And a little bit of an elbow. Oakley was there to contend him. 5 minutes to go third quarter. Underneath Drexler. Oh, boy.
Yes. I've never seen Clyde Drexler show so much emotion after a play.
Clyde with 14 points, and it's a 22-point margin again. Starks. Patrick Ewing, Willis. And Patrick Ewing goes to the glass and puts it in.
3 out of the last 4 possessions, Patrick Ewing has had the ball, and it should have been 4 out of 4.
13 points for Ewing now. Maloney guarded by Chris Childs. Underneath, Barkley. Too far underneath. Knocked out of bounds by Patrick Ewing. Let's watch that Maloney pass to Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, what the Knicks are trying to do is overplay the passing lanes. When you overplay the passing lanes, you can get back cut, and that's exactly what happened. Great pick by Kevin Willis. The little things are what make great teams great, and that was a little pick that helped him get open.
Maloney's going to get a rest, and Randy Livingston, his fellow rookie, is on the floor. There's Barkley, and Chris Childs with a nice defensive job steps in and takes it away. Starks. Oh, Drexler with a steal. Willis is fouled by Charles Oakley.
And that's just aggressive play on both ends. You like that if you're Jeff Van Gundy. The problem is you started this half down 20. Look at Clyde Drexler. That's just great D. All ball. All ball.
Prior to that, Chris Childs with a pretty good defensive effort himself.
Yeah, it really was. He read the lane. He read the pass.
Randy Livingston. Into the hands of Clyde Drexler for 3. Can't miss.
Every time they think about making a run, one of the big 3 make a big shot.
23-point lead now, 3:38. Drexler 6 of 9 from the field for 17. Underneath, here's Allan Houston with a little bit of a runner. Barkley with another rebound. And a couple of words for Charles Oakley.
Yeah, Barkley's having a ball right now. He's just having a good time. He's imposed his will on this game tonight.
And he did so from the opening tip. Another basket for Drexler. A 20-second timeout call for the Knicks. They've lost to the New York Knicks each of the last 4 games in regular season. The rematch comes in Madison Square Garden on February 4th, and we'll be there.
Yes, we will.
Now let's take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard, and be sure to tune in to CNN at 11 o'clock for all the scores and highlights of the day on the simulcast of CNNSI, the 24-hour sports news network. Well, of course, Houston's got a big week. We talked a little bit about the back-to-back and the road trip for the Knicks. The Rockets are at home here against Sacramento and then to Dallas, but no one is thinking about those two games, I don't think. All they're talking about is the rematch with Chicago here on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the one they had circled. And to be quite honest, they had last Saturday's game circled. That didn't come out the way they wanted to, so they want to get back at them.
Starks for three.
John Starks for three.
And Jeff Van Gundy probably already has circled the next time they play Houston.
Randy Livingston guarded by Chris Childs. Under 3 minutes now in the third quarter. Houston on Drexler. Livingston. And a turnover for Houston. At the other end, here's Ewing. And did he get it off Livingston? Yes, he did. Bright play by Patrick Ewing. And because of this turnover spurt by Houston in this half, the turnovers even now at 14 all. Only one for New York.
Yeah, but the thing you need to look at is the points off turnovers, and it's 18-9.
Oakley still can't get the measure of Barkley on this night.
No, he can't. Barkley is just having everything's going great for Charles Barkley right now. Oakley missed a point-blank layup right there.
Double team from Starks. Barkley goes baseline, and will shoot a free throw.
Fouls on number 34, Charles Oakley.
Fourth foul on Charles Oakley.
Yeah, watch Charles Barkley here. Oakley thought that he was going to run into body contact. Barkley did what we call in the league, pulling the chair, and there was nobody there. Oakley was off balance. That's why he missed that layup.
Points for Barkley tonight. Buck Williams back on the floor, and Oakley will go to the bench with his fourth foul.
Number 52,
look at the rebounding edge.
In the game for the Knicks.
When you turn the ball over the way the Knicks have, and though it's even, it's still uneven because the Knicks had quality turnovers. The Rockets now, they're up by 20 whatever, so the turnovers aren't that important. And you get out rebounded like that, you have no chance of winning the basketball game.
As we had said earlier, New York out-rebounded its last 11 opponents in succession.
2 minutes remain in the period.
Ewing. Drexler with the double. They get it in the hands of Childs. And a foul called on Kevin Willis.
Foul is on number 42, Kevin Willis. That's his third personal foul.
Third foul on Willis.
And Willis is a battler. Look at him down low. He's so strong. He's holding the guy off with one arm, basically, and a lot of help. He's a physical player. It's funny because the West is not known as a physical conference. It's usually the bullies of the East. And right now, this West Coast team, the Houston Rockets, are playing far more physical than the Knicks. And it's all started through Charles Barkley again.
Livingston off the dribble. Kicks it out to Barkley, who backs up and takes a three. Ewing touches it into the hands of Charlie Ward. 1:20 to go third quarter. A 23-point margin that's now cut to 21. And a steal from Charlie Ward. See if he takes the three. He will. Nope. Off the front iron. Into the hands of Ewing. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Point blank range.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Patrick wants. He knows it. He's just smiling. He's like, what can I do?
85-64. 10-second violation. When was the last time you saw that?
I thought they stopped counting.
It's 1955.
Boy.
Dolph Shays is on the floor.
We need retro uniforms now because they're going to start calling that.
Auerbach's in the building.
You really don't see that call. And most of the times, because usually the guy gets it over half court. But, wow, I haven't seen that in a while.
I can't remember the last time I saw a 10-second violation. Underneath, Barkley. No, Randy Livingston. And he draws a foul from Chris Childs.
And he had a point-blank layup. When it rains, it pours. And right now, it's raining hard for New York.
Coming up tomorrow evening on TBS, Penny Hardaway leads the Orlando Magic into Dallas to take on the Mavericks. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on TBS. And Randy Livingston at the line. 42nd player taken in the draft last year. Injury-plagued 2 years at LSU. But he is developing into a fine point guard.
He really is. And there was talk of him when he was in high school that he was going to go directly to the pros. He was one of the first guys in this new wave that thought about going. He thought about it. He went to college. He hurt his knee. He hurt his knee again. And he decided he had to come out because of his health. And look what he's doing. He's truly a success story.
Well, among the things he's doing right now is keeping Brent Price on the bench.
Yeah, he is, and so is Matt Maloney. And, you know, a lot of people aren't talking about that, and that's really key because Brent Price was the other missing part that they brought in here, and the other guys have responded so well, they don't even need him yet. But I will say, by the end of this season, Brent Price will make his mark for this team. He just shoots the ball way too well to not play.
Brent Price with minimal minutes tonight. Final 15 seconds of the third quarter. Drexler guarded by Starks. Goes baseline, comes up short. Barkley just does lose control.
Out of bounds, it's Knicks ball.
I mean, it's just they're stronger, they're more physical, they're doing everything right now.
Childs. Oh, what a pretty play. But it will not fall. And we have reached the end of 3. 7 points in this period, 19 in the ball game thus far. On 7 of 10 from the field. Rockets by 23.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I am Tiger Woods. I am Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods. I am Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods.
Good morning.
Morning.
What can I do for you?
2 copies, please.
Yesterday, Evelyn Hartwell fulfilled a dream big enough to change her life, small enough to hold in her hand. She got the keys to her first home.
Thank you.
By the way, congratulations.
For a free guide that can help you get a home of your own, call the Fannie Mae Foundation. We're showing America a new way home.
McDonald's Not So Risky predictions for 1997. The Cable Man will say 11, but arrive at 6. You will desire a deluxe sandwich with fresh toppings, a soft bakery roll, and who needs 159 channels anyway? McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches, America's favorite grown-up taste.
If you love the mouth-bending blast you get from a Butterfinger, but just want a little, now you can have it with Butterfinger BBs. Bite-sized bursts of crispity-crunchity Butterfinger that give you blast after blast. Have a Butterfinger Blast from Nestle.
We're back in Houston getting ready for the final quarter. Ice storms ripped through this city as well as most of Texas the last couple of days, but they did nothing to diminish the heat of the Houston Rockets. The Rockets leading the Lakers by a half game in the Western Conference. Seattle a 1.5 game margin back. Utah limping along on the road right now, Doc.
Yeah, you look at that. Obviously, the biggest surprise to me are the San Antonio Spurs, and if they get healthy, I think they have a chance. I mean, look at the bottom 2 teams right now. There's a chance a team or 2 teams can get in the West and lose 50 games. That's not good.
No.
And number 20, Allan Houston.
We begin the final quarter. Vern Lundquist, Doc Rivers, Craig Sager here at the Summit in Houston, 87-64. Sam Mack along with Livingston. Brent Price is on the floor now with Barkley and Kevin Willis. Buck Williams is guarding Barkley. Double team comes from Herb Williams, who's in the lineup. Shot will not fall for Kevin Willis, and Buck Williams gets the rebound. Allan Houston has the ball. So Herb Williams making what has been a rare appearance on the floor. That one's off the mark into the hands of Brent Price.
And these are good games for Brent Price because he gets a chance to get in the game and get some rhythm, and that's what he needs. It's really tough for a player when you don't start off the season, go through training camp, preseason games, and start the season. You're always behind. You're always trying to play catch-up basketball.
Starks gets the screen from Herb Williams. Willis flies at him, and it's an air ball. Barkley puts it in the hands of Randy Livingston. 87-64. It was 20 at the half, 23 at the end of 3. Sam Mack finds Brent Price, who finds Kevin Willis with a baseline shot that's good.
Yeah. Kevin Willis is making his shot. He's loving it, too. And he'll tell us all about it tomorrow.
89-64. Barkley with another rebound. 12.
And they're rubbing it in. I mean, they're really going after it, and that's what a great team should do.
Starks on the evening, 2 for 10 from the field. That's kind of symptomatic of the way things have gone for the Knicks tonight. And this guy has been torrid. Here's a follow-away shot at the buzzer. And Brent Price almost tracked it down.
Out of bounds, Knicks ball.
Well, he caught Hugh Hollins to smile whenever Brent Price said Ewing will rest.
It's funny. After that shot, I was going to say it's not going to be long before Charles Barkley comes out. He's had such a great game. It's time to rest him a little bit. I'd be surprised if we saw him anymore today.
Now with a 25-point lead and 9:54 to go in this ballgame. Again, the rematch between these two, February 4th in Madison Square Garden. Really interesting how the Rockets have not played that well at home. 12-6 for a team with a 29-7 record.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is an amazing statistic, because in the playoffs, you want to be at home and you want to win at home, and you don't want teams to feel that they can come in here and win. That was one of the things that makes Michael Jordan great. Will Perdue, who I played with in San Antonio, said the one thing Jordan can't stand is losing at home.
Allan Houston gets that shot to the ball. Here's Brent Price, picked up by Charlie Ward. Williams fronts Olajuwon. Starks on Livingston, who goes baseline. Oh, nice play.
Well, that's why he's playing. He showed us why he's playing right there. He's strong. He can take the ball to the basket. And the one thing he gives him, the Rockets, that they didn't have, or everyone said they didn't have, is a big point guard, a guard that can play some defense.
Houston, basket will count. He'll shoot a free throw. Sam Mack with the foul.
Score the basket for Allan Houston. The foul is on number 5, Sam Mack.
Just take a look at Allan Houston. One thing this guy can do, and he might be one of the better in the league, is ISO and take guys. I mean, that's an up and under move by a guard. That's a great move. And then he follows it up with this shot here that puts him on the line for a three-point opportunity. He's a great ISO player, and the Knicks somehow have to find a way of giving him more of them so he can be more productive.
91-68 after Houston misses the free throw. Here's Livingston again. Starks guards him. They kick it out to Sam Mack and Brent Price. Willis. Starks chases down the loose ball.
And that's about 3 feet out of Willis' range, but when you're up like this, you can take those shots.
Starks for 3. Yep.
John Starks for 3.
And he has no range limits. He can shoot it, and he will shoot it from anywhere.
How long is the reel of John Starks' great shot selection?
Oh, oh boy. I've seen a bunch of those.
Sam Mack, no. Willis. Livingston. Willis. Herb Williams with the foul. It was Randy Livingston with the pass.
Yeah.
This young man says he's really a throwback in the art of finding the open man.
Yeah, he has great vision. He has great court sense. And what he lacks right now is playing time. He really hasn't played a full season in 3 seasons. So he's getting a chance to play basketball, and the longer he plays, the better he's going to get. He's going to keep getting better.
Does Kevin Willis look like the kind of man who would have been publicly acknowledged today to say that his favorite movie of recent years is Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, yes. Did he say that?
Yes, he did.
Well, I would believe that.
He said he wants to go see it again.
You know, art is art. Everyone thinks art is different.
Yes, but there's a difference in a Monet and finger painting.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Charlie Ward.
Well, he has finger paintings on his wall at home, obviously.
93. You know him better than I do. 93-72, 7.5 to go in this one. Here's Willis with the pick. Randy Livingston and Buck Williams calls for the foul.
He just split a double team, Randy. I mean, that's a move that Mark Price does. That's a veteran move, and he's doing it. He can play the game. You can understand now why people were talking about him in high school as a guy who maybe could have turned pro.
Randy Livingston at the line shooting 2.
I mean, watch this. He saw the double team coming, and he split it before it could come. That's a mature play.
Gets the first of 2 free throws. Allan Houston is going to
for the Knicks, number 44,
head to the bench. And John Wallace has had a very quiet night. The rookie who's starting in place of Larry Johnson is back on the floor.
Yeah, he has. And Kevin Willis has not. 9 points, 11 rebounds. He's doing exactly what he wants to do and why they brought him in here, and that's to give guys rest, to play when other guys are hurt. They understood that Olajuwon and Barkley would miss games. They signed Kevin Willis, and I've said it many times already, the little things that management do to sign guys is what win championships. Like right here, the Knicks with Buck Williams, and then you got Kevin Willis and Houston. That's what wins games. Obviously, you're going to get the stars, but it's the role-playing guys that win for you.
Here's Willis, your former teammate in Atlanta.
Enjoy playing with him. He always played hard. We called him the black hole at times.
I heard that.
Yeah, but it was funny. I had him and Dominique Wilkins. So if I gave up the ball, that was it. I didn't see it again.
Traveling call on Olajuwon.
And what did they do? They went out and added Moses Malone to the team.
Yeah, but you still played for double-digit years.
That's right.
It was all worth it, Doc.
I am Autobahn, Lord of...
It's time now for tonight's Dutch Boy in the Paint. Look at the rebounding edge by the Rockets, who were out-rebounded by Chicago by 18 Sunday night. Boy. And the grudge match, Oakley and Barkley. This one's gone to Charles Barkley.
Yeah, this was a Vander, and that's who Charles Barkley was in this one. He was a Vander. Oakley was Tyson. They will have a rematch in 2 weeks.
Charles with 24 first-half points. He's going to get a rest here. And Oakley is on the bench with 4 fouls in this battle of these truly great warriors.
Well, I tell you what, they both know that they're going to play again. They hope that they're going to see each other at least 7 more times or 8 more times if you count playoffs. And if they do play in the playoffs, that means they're in the finals. So they would love to see each other more than just once.
Of course, Game 7 of the 1994 finals on this floor. You remember the Knicks team. That was a tough time.
Yeah, I've had a couple of tough times in this building. I lose Game 7 to the Rockets, and then I lose them with the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. This has not been a nice building for me.
Here's Herb Williams. Turnaround over Olajuwon, in and out. Olajuwon, quick outlet pass to Randy Livingston. Ward is back. Beautiful defensive play by Charles Ward.
And great call, because that was an offensive foul. Great play by Charlie Ward.
That was a dandy play by Ward.
You know, look at this. I mean, you can easily quit right now when you're down, but Charlie Ward is a competitor, and that was a great play. You don't win a Heisman Trophy not being a competitor.
6:15 remaining in regulation in this one. There's another New York turnover. But that's only 15 and only the second in this half.
It didn't matter.
No. Now that irrelevant stats.
Yeah, boy.
Olajuwon. Am I wrong, or did he take a few steps?
He took some steps.
Thought so.
But the refs are looking at the score also right now.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's cold outside. There's no reason to prolong this.
Yes.
97-74. Well, the last time Doc and I saw the New York Knicks was in the Garden. They were thumped at home by Miami, 99-74. Jeff Van Gundy said, "You guys get out of the building."
Yeah, he did. And as a matter of fact, we had them against the Lakers, and they lost also. So we don't have a good track record with the Knicks.
No.
They're hoping that it's not continue because we have them a lot.
Here's Starks. Up and in with 5:14 to go. Their most recent big defeat was at Atlanta. No disgrace there. 88-71. 97-76 in this one, and it would appear that Houston's going to win its first regular season game in 2 years against the New York Knicks.
Yeah, and the biggest question right now will be, what will the headlines in New York say?
97-76 here. Let's go back to Atlanta and check in with Ernie Johnson.
All right, thank you, Vern. You know, the Atlanta Hawks had a 13-game home winning streak going into tonight's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Omni. And this thing in the closing ticks all tied up. Mookie Blaylock going to try to win it for the guys in the white shirts. Tom Gugliotta at the buzzer. Well, it was close, but guess what? There's a foul on the play, and Flip Saunders cannot believe it. Mookie Blaylock goes to the line, cans them both, and now the winning streak stands at 14 at home for the Hawks. 95-93 winners over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tough luck for Minnesota assistant and former Doc Rivers teammate Randy Whitman. How about that one, Doc?
I don't know if that was so great playing with that Reggie Theus guy, I tell you. No, he was a great, great guy.
23-11 for the Hawks now, and they're 7.5 back at Chicago, but I know you think they've positioned themselves to be a very dangerous playoff team.
Yeah, they are really dangerous because they play defense, and they got one guy on their team that can dominate a whole series. You can ask Seattle if you don't believe me, but someone can do it. And then they got three guys that can score on their own. And, you know, you got Christian Laettner, another guy who should be on the All-Star team the way he's playing, Mookie Blaylock and Chris Smith. So they're going to be a team nobody is going to want to play in the playoffs.
Happy moments for the guys who occupy the end of the bench now here in the final 4:10. That was Tracy Moore with the last basket. Rookie Walter McCarty.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're just seeing him because Van Gundy said he would not hesitate to put him in if the game started getting questionable. It was questionable early here tonight.
Charlie Ward with another fine defensive play, and he finds John Starks and Price. The ultimate no call from Paul Mahalik as Starks went flying toward the baseline. In and out for three for Tracy Moore. And this looks like third grade recess right now. It really does. Starks, Othella Harrington.
And the crowd's having the ball.
Yeah. Very few have gone home. Of course, they can't drive on the ice here. No. I got to tell you, here's a three-pointer from Matt Bullard. Having lived in this state for so many years in Dallas, I know what ice does here, but now I live in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, right, Doc?
Yeah.
We had 75 inches of snow in the last 4.5 days.
Yet they didn't cancel school.
No, the town operates.
In San Antonio, we had no snow, and school's been out for 2 days.
102-80. Final 2:50 to go in this one. So it's on to San Antonio for the Knicks. They try and regroup against the Spurs tomorrow night. Then they are at Phoenix before they go home to Washington on Monday night and then at Chicago next week. And for the Houston Rockets, they will win their 13th against 6 defeats at home, and they look forward to Chicago, but they've got Sacramento and Dallas before that.
You better get her number.
I better get Turner Classic Movies first.
Robin Hood is becoming a pest. Turner Network Television presents The New Adventures of Robin Hood. This time he's not just your average steal from the rich, give to the poor kind of guy.
Robin Hood.
Take aim and let fly with The New Adventures of Robin Hood. Saturday nights at 8, exclusively on TNT.
Be sure to join Turner Sports in just over 3 weeks for NBA All-Star Saturday night from Cleveland. It'll feature the rookie game, the three-point shootout. Tim Legler, the defending champion, will be there. Brett Berry will not be back to defend his slam dunk title, so who will win it? And then on Sunday, the 47th annual NBA All-Star Game. Doc, here are the current standings among the balloting for the Eastern Division guards.
Well, you know Michael Jordan and Anthony Hardaway will be on that team, but if I had to choose the other three, Reggie Miller, Joe Dumars, and Tim Hardaway. And Tim Hardaway should start this year since Anthony Hardaway has been injured all.
That is a shock to see Tim Hardaway 8.
Yeah.
Van Bellamy.
No one knows.
Somebody's not paying attention. Here's Walter McCarty with the jumper knocked by Matt Bullard.
And a lot of people are saying, Doc didn't put Allen Iverson on the team. Well, when you lose that many games, I don't think you should be on the team.
Fouls on number 32, Herb.
Now here's tonight's McDonald's game reset. The Rockets hitting 54%. Knicks 42. And they have been out-rebounded. The Knicks have by 22 tonight. And the big edge is coming to the front court. Charles Barkley, Olajuwon, and Drexler combined for 63 points. Remember to stop by McDonald's to cast your vote for your favorite NBA All-Stars. McDonald's, the official headquarters of NBA All-Star balloting.
And if you just played Olajuwon, Drexler, and Barkley and just had their points, they would only be down by 17. That's how bad this game is tonight.
McCarty guarded by Brent Price. Scotty Brooks is on the floor for New York, and McCarty gets the basket.
Walter McCarty.
You know, Ben Gundy was talking about McCarty today, and he said this guy will be in the league a long time. He's long. He can play defense. He's a great defender, plays with a lot of effort. He has great athletic skills, and obviously you just saw it.
Bella Harrington kicks it out to Sam Mack. Tries the three-pointer. Early on, the three-point, the favorite weapon of Houston, is jumping out to a 20-point halftime lead, and this one was over shortly after that. Knicks made a bit of a run. They jumped out to a 7-0 lead early on in the third quarter, but then a 15-4 Houston run, and it was in the books.
Yeah, and I think that response right at the beginning of the third quarter when the Knicks made the run and the Rockets shot it right back. The game was basically over at that point. The Knicks were looking, we made a great one. We look at it, we're still down 22 points now. So I think that was it. After they did that, this game was over.
John Wallace gets two, and it's a 20-point margin with 122. And Brent Price is fouled. Coming up inside the NBA after this game, Reggie Theus and Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios with scores and highlights from all of tonight's action. And a profile on the Washington Bullets forward, Chris Webber.
You know, we forgot to mention that Tim Legler hasn't even played this year for the Bullets. He's another guy that's going to help that team.
Harrington over Herb Williams. So the four-game winning streak by the Knicks over Houston in regular season the last 2 years comes to a close here on the Summit. The rematch between these two. There's an interception taken away by Sam Mack, and the Knicks get it back as Scotty Brooks traces it down. Walter McCarty had the steal. On to San Antonio. Sam Mack, Matt Bullard. Oh, wow. And Price gets the ball.
I mean, can anything else go wrong or right for these two teams?
The Rockets go to 13-6 at home and 28-9 for the season. The New York Knicks fall to 26-10, and they continue the road trip in San Antonio tomorrow night.
Still Knicks ball.
And Jeff Van Gundy saying their season really begins now. They've got a tough stretch on the road. San Antonio, Phoenix, then Washington at home, but back-to-back at Chicago and then to Indiana.
Yeah, they have a tough schedule. They have a tough schedule ahead of him. I read somewhere that Van Gundy thought he'd be undefeated at this point of the season. Talking about a guy who looks at the glass half full.
In and out. A 20-point margin, 106-86. This will be the final shot of the night. Or not. Not. 106-86. The Houston Rockets defeat the Knicks for the first time in regular season play in 2 years. And they do so helped by the two guys who had tough nights in Chicago the other night, Charles Barkley and Clyde Drexler. Barkley with 29 points. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Clyde Vernon was talking about the loss Saturday and how it's disappointing for you guys, maybe embarrassing. Was that a factor in preparing for the game tonight against the Knicks?
No, I just think we had 2 days between this game to prepare from the loss to Chicago. Chicago played a better game. It was our fourth game in 5 days. We may have been a little fatigued, but when you play the best, you have to get yourself up and ready to play. We didn't do that the second half.
The first half, you guys came out. The turnovers, the Knicks were turning it over. They had 10 turnovers early in the first quarter.
Well, our defense had a little to do with that. We were playing good aggressive defense. We were able to force them into a couple of bad shots, and we were able to make some shots on the other end ourselves.
If the game against Chicago is just one of 82, what about the rematch on NBC Sunday against the Bulls? Does that suddenly loom as a big game now?
I think every game is big, and when you play against the best team in the Eastern Conference, it's really big. We love to play in those games because you really don't have to get up for those games. That's what you play for. That's what it's all about.
You played with some great players in college, also in Portland and here. What's it like playing with Charles Barkley, and what do you say to this team tonight?
Well, it's just like playing with Hakeem. When you're playing with great players, you expect great things on a nightly basis, and we're certainly happy to have him.
All right, thanks. All right, let's go over to Vern, Doc, and they are with Charles Barkley.
Okay, thank you, Craig, and thank you, Clyde Drexler. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We played very well tonight. It's probably might be our best game all year.
You played, obviously, from the outset with great emotion, Charles.
I want to kill Charles Oakley. You know, what he did to me during the preseason was uncalled for. And I've always respected him as a player, and I'm not sure why he did that. I think he just, you know, they said steroids make you go crazy at times. And I think that's what happened.
Is the feud over now, do you think?
Well, I hope it is. If it's not, I'm going to torture him next time, too.
You know, Oakley ran off the court and he said, I want a rematch.
Well, you know what? I guarantee when we go to New York, I'll show up.
Do you still think New York, you made a comment that New York's a lousy team. Do you think they're a good team now?
I didn't say they were a lousy team. I don't think they have a chance against the Bulls. I think Seattle, Utah, us. I think the Lakers got better with the trade. And the Bulls are definitely going to win the Eastern Conference. And it's going to be a dogfight out here for us. But the Bulls are the best team by far and away in the East. You know, the Knicks, I'm not sure they're better than Miami.
How many good teams are there in the league, do you think, right now?
Detroit, actually, I forgot to mention them. Detroit, Chicago, New York, Miami, that's 4. And it's about Utah, Seattle, and us out here in the Lakers. So it's about 10 teams. You know, the league is really in a very difficult time right now. We got going through transition where the old guys are getting old and the young guys got to step up to the plate. It's really about 10 teams. It's probably about 5 or 6 of those can win the championship.
Charles, have you been puzzled by the problems that the Rockets have had in this building this year?
Well, I think that that's a little. We lost some tough games at home. All the games we've lost at home been down the stretch. I think the difference is our crowd is not like playing on the road where everybody's hostile. We got a very friendly crowd. We got to get them a little bit angry and treat the other team bad, and that gets us going more than anything.
It's always fun to watch you play. Tonight was really exceptional. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Charles Barkley with 29 points tonight, and the Rockets